was so cool to meet your sister and have her on the show today, Judy. Thanks, Maria. It was really neat.
Thank you for having me on. I was so excited to come and, spend time with you guys.
Well, you've got your expertise with playing poker, and we had Will on our show.
Yeah. Will wants to be you.
Who isn't so much of an expert?
I know.
I think you should give it up as a career.
Yeah. Well, you said that.
But, my question is, and I don't know the answer, there's got to be a percentage of luck that's involved to be dealt the proper hand. Is there a statistical data to say how much is skill and how much is luck?
Yeah, I would say that, you would need a very large sample size in order to break it down into, okay, what percentage of poker is skill versus luck. But I would say overwhelmingly what it's showing is over a long period of time, if you play a lot of tournaments or if you play a lot of hours of cash games, then the skill factor will definitely edge out the luck factor. I would say somewhere roughly around the neighborhood of like 65% skill, 35% luck. But, you're right, like there is that element of luck involved, and that's kind of what Will, I think, is hooked on, is the idea that he can win at any time.
He can get lucky.
He can get lucky. But then when you get unlucky, then that's the other side of the story that makes someone like Will lose.
Well, because when you're playing, you're relying on your skill, and you're hoping for luck. Is Will hoping a lot more for luck than in relying on skill?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, the reverse is probably easier for someone like that to come by because they want that quick hit of, okay, let me just win a couple $100
just got dealt
and
to me, and that's luck.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Now the skill, and I don't know poker very well, do you acquire all that psychological analysis from this brilliant sister of you when you're watching other players?
Yeah, it's so funny because Judy and I both kind of use psychology in our profession on a daily basis, but in very different ways. Like Judy is just such a studied, knowledgeable, well-educated psychologist with a PhD, and my psychology is like that street smart, that common sense. Like I'm reading people, I'm looking them in the eyes at the poker table, and I definitely feel like I can sense when someone's weak. It's like their behaviors, their mannerisms. There's other things that I'm kind of using along with the math part of poker and other things like bankroll management and the discipline that it takes to really become a professional.
So here's something that Maria taught me when I first started playing poker just for fun. Like, this is part of the street psychology she
maybe
uses.
She doesn't want her secrets from you. Be careful.
Well, this was very specific to, I guess, a specific population, which is, she was like, well, you're a female. She's like, there's very few female poker players. She's like, so just go to the table and pretend you don't know anything. Pretend that basically you have no idea what's going on. And ask people questions like, wait, so what should I do? How much is this
bet? Play stupid, naive.
Yes. So then I did that and I actually won a few hands, and then people started commenting at the table. And then at some point I just said, well, I can't take all the credit. My sister's a professional poker player. And they're like, who is she? And I said, Maria Ho. And they said, what? And they were so upset that I was like, you pretended you didn't know anything about poker. And, that's just one tiny little tip that helped me win a few
So, Maria, do you see yourself doing this gig, being a professional poker player for a long time to come?
I've been doing it for like 12 or 13 years now, and I do still enjoy playing poker, but I do some broadcasting within poker. Like I do strategic commentary on ESPN for the World Series of Poker. I teach people how to play poker. That's more fulfilling because I kind of feel like I'm using that knowledge and teaching other people to maybe not lose as much money as Will's losing.
And to know the difference when to stop.
Exactly.
You just don't have it, maybe. What are mom and dad saying about this profession that you chose?
That's a good question.
Because there are a lot of kids out there, and the parents are probably thinking, you want to do what? Yeah. What did your mom and dad say?
Well, I mean, between the two of us, I'm clearly the black sheep of the family. So, hello.
And yet you're so amazingly successful. So actually, our parents have really nothing negative to say now. But when she first started, they were very worried. Yes, they were worried. They're like, wait, I'm sorry, what? And the funny thing is, my dad loves playing poker.
But so he doesn't want his daughter to
do so it. We're like, wait a minute, though, because you play, and it's a hobby for him. So he's nowhere near professional. He does lose money. And we're like, but she's doing it so much better than you, so don't worry about it. But it took them a little while because they were worried. Of course, they wanted her to have a secure job. And I mean, in that generation,
a 9 to 5 with benefits. Isn't that what every parent wants for their kids?
Yeah, and I mean, like, this kind of profession didn't really exist 50 or 60 years ago. You know what I mean? So they didn't really know there was a template for this. And now that she's made a career, they've had no complaints. They brag about her all the time.
Yeah, as long as I don't like go asking my parents for money, they're like, all right, well I guess you're doing something right, so we'll leave you alone.
Don't be second mortgaging Judy's home. either.
Right.
Well, you're phenomenal, and it was so cool to have you here.
Yay.
Yeah, it was
Impart
so
your
good
knowledge.
to be here, and honestly, it's just nice to be able to come into a space like this and be able to help somebody like Will. I feel like I hope he can walk away realizing that I don't want people to view poker as something negative or that you're gambling. It is a skill game, but of course, like anything else that has luck involved, if you're doing it wrong or if you do have addictive behaviors, then it's going to lead to, you know, anything else that, you know, that's destructive when you
Right.
are an addict. of
Know your
anything.
limits.
No,
Yeah.
no
You
limits.
know,
Yeah.
know when to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved all that math you were doing too. You're like, this is how much you need to have, 10% of your bankroll, this and that. This is
Did
how
you
many
even
big blinds.
know that was coming out?
No,
Did
but
you
you
ever
know,
share that before?
No, but I knew she was brilliant at math ever since we were kids, and I was like, that makes sense.
She's got to
actually.
count fast too.
That adds up.
Numbers.
Yeah,
How cool.
that's great.
So where are we going to see you next?
I'm actually heading to Vegas tomorrow to play a big tournament. There's a lot of big televised tournaments, you know, constantly on ESPN televises them, you know, and all of these other networks. So I'm gonna go play some of those. So hopefully you'll see me on one of
I
those
gotta
final
tell
tables.
you, I was bragging about you to my friend Dean, and Dean is kind of an older friend of mine, and he's been a friend of mine for over 30 years. And he said, you know Maria Ho? And
Yeah.
he just
Flipped
lit
out.
up.
Yeah.
So you've got fans out in Michigan,
Yes,
in
you
Macomb
do.
County. So
Yeah.
It's good to, that's good to know. And Dean, there's gonna be an autograph photo coming your way.
all right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Maria. You are
Thank you
so
guys.
cool.